Hello and welcome to my day trading video journal. We're going to go over my 14 trades from last week. This first one was on NVAX. I ended up getting short. You can see at this mark, this red square, and I ended up covering at this green square. I notated that it wasn't really the textbook pullback setup, and while it still worked out okay, I think I kind of forced this trade while not much was moving in the market just to put a trade on. Now, if I try to imagine this setup being flipped the other way, I actually think that I still may have taken this trade. So maybe it wasn't as much of an error as I originally thought it to be. Probably was an okay pullback play. This one was another pullback play. As you can see, got short here, and it was just had a bounce and then showed some weakness, ended up getting short, and then stopped out above that consolidation period. So no problem there. That was a really good trade. Baidu. Okay. So overall trend was bearish, so I shorted a pullback, the green to red move, anticipating more downwards pressure. So I ended up getting short here, but it just didn't end up working out. Not a big deal. Let's see. Next one was Zen. Okay, so nice pullback play here. It didn't quite make it to my target, I see. I ended up getting stopped out, but nice pullback here. Ends up rolling over a little bit, leaving my stop over the high, not getting too tight with my stops. Definitely key here to stay in for the bigger move, and ended up getting stopped out. If I would have left my stop over the high, as you can see on the 15-minute chart, actually made an even bigger move. But I think at that point it started to make a move downward under that batch of lows, and it was okay to start to trail my stop down. I don't think there's any problem with what I did there. Ended up being a small winner. Apple. Okay, so I ended up buying this support level here. You can see on the 15-minute that it was a key level, and ended up taking a nice little trade off of it and got a nice bounce. So very pleased with that one. RAD, another pullback play. Let's take a look at that. Okay, I see what I did. So we had a nice big run up and then a pullback, and I'm getting long, anticipating it to retest the highs or go even higher, and just ended up not working out. No big deal there. Looks like it tried to make a move back up after it based out down here. INO. Okay, so something that I noticed is that I noted that UNH wasn't the typical setup, and that was on the 4th. So I find that when I take a loss right off the rip, I'm actually more likely to take a string of losers or get in more trades. Whereas if I take a big winner in the beginning, I'm more likely just to shut it down and be satisfied. I think that might have something to do with me just trying to get back what I lost, or just wanting to get in more opportunities. Maybe taking trades that aren't necessarily jumping off the page of me, or A+ setups. That's something I'm still trying to work on. So INO ended up playing a pullback here. I think it was off the 2-minute chart. I don't know if they have that on here. Oh, they do. Yeah, so it played a 2-minute pullback, and it did go to higher than the, how do I say this? It broke out, went higher than the current high a day right here, but ended up rolling over and getting stopped out. And like I said before, we've been looser with our stop losses, and it's really not a big deal. It allows me to be in for the bigger move. It probably came pretty close to my target, though, which is kind of disappointing, but at the same time, hey, that's what's going to happen sometimes when we're looser with our stop losses. And then UNH, let's see what I noted. Not a typical setup, but still a legit sign of strength in the situation. So watching this, it makes a push up and then rolls over, starts to consolidate here, and I'm thinking, well, it's got a good chance of at least retesting these highs. So I get long with my stop loss under the consolidation, and it just floats around down there and ends up stopping me out. So no big deal there. I think that it had plenty of opportunity, and it was a sign of weakness, or correction, a sign of strength to see it start to bounce there after it pulled back that much, still in a bullish context. So this was another pullback play on Boeing. Got short here. It makes a green to red move, and then starts to bounce, and everything, just the context is bearish. So I get short here with stop loss over the highs, and end up getting stopped out down here as I followed it down. So pretty good trade. Let's see. Baba. Okay, this looks like a small loser. Let's see what I did here. Okay, yeah, so makes a big not a big move, but makes a push up, starts to pull back, and then I ended up getting long, anticipating it at least retest the highs, if not go a little bit higher. And it actually did that eventually, but it just wanted to pull back even more. So not something that I could have necessarily predicted, but I just made myself available and ended up taking a loss, but no big deal there. Boeing, this was a big trade, really big trade. So gaps down, shows it's bearish, plunges downwards, makes this nice move, consolidates, makes a bounce, and then starts to go sideways. So I get short, and then it just starts to show weakness, consolidates in this range, end up leaving my stop over the high, and then I got my target off and just trailed my stop down very loose on it, and ended up getting stopped out near the low of day. And if we look at it on the daily, it went even lower, but it wasn't ever going to be a swing trade. That wasn't the plan. So nice $147 trade, only risking 25 bucks for this week. Not bad at all. MRVL, let's see, this is a small winner. So it makes a move up, pulls back, makes another move up, does a pullback, and then I ended up getting long when it starts to show strength, and ended up being a nice trade. Got stopped out. It never made it quite to the target, but hey, that's what happens sometimes. INO, another nice pullback trade. So makes a move up, pulls back, starts to consolidate again, and I figured it's got to at least test the highs, if not go higher. So end up getting long. And here I just had to get a few more shares on. I was missing 2 shares, I noticed, based on my calculator. Ends up hitting my target and then goes even higher before stopping me out. And I think this was just really fantastic trade. I wasn't expecting that to work out so nicely, but it didn't surprise me though in the least bit. This, a red to green move. End up getting short here. I actually anticipated, just due to all the overall context of Boeing wanting to roll over more. Ultimately did, if you see it on the daily, but ended up putting my stop over this high, the consolidation pullback. I was thinking it was going to roll over, maybe try to retest these lows a day, but ended up not quite working out. So no big deal there. If you like this type of video, make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.